Hi everyone, it's Lindsay. Thanks for coming to check out my video. I have just made a career change after 20 plus years and I just turned 41 last week. Maybe you're stopping in here because you worked with me at my last job. Maybe you're one of my friends. Maybe you're one of my YouTube friends. Or this could be your first time stopping in. What this video is going to cover is the real reason I left my job after 20 years. Now, of course, there's multiple reasons, but then there's, the real reason I left. I don't know how to explain it. What this is not going to be is me speaking negatively about the company that I just worked for, because that is, first of all, the opposite of how I feel, and second of all, just foolish to do. I'm just going to give you a quick basic background as to how I ended up where I am today. And I'll try to keep it concise because it's real easy for this video to get very, very long-winded. I started my most recent job in October of 2000 as an overnight employee at a convenience store. The reason I started there is a good friend of mine was working there. She said that she liked it there and she was like, hey, you should come work here. And I was pretty much at this point where I had kind of screwed up going to college. I had financial aid, I had an art scholarship, and instead of going to school, I was kind of like just not going half the time and just felt like I wasn't mature enough at that time. I was 20 years old. I just wasn't mature enough to force myself to do college. So I started as an overnight employee, ended up liking the job, and thanks to the encouragement of others, I eventually worked my way up into a management position. I was an assistant manager within 2 years. A few years after that, I became a store manager, and I was a store manager for 13 and a half years. I could not have done that without the encouragement of others. It's a place that promotes within. They give you all the tools you need to advance. Just the people in general are so encouraging. And that is why I'm so grateful. I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for the encouragement of others and just the training type atmosphere that I worked in for so many years. I also am very grateful for the wage that I was making. Up until last year, I was making more than my husband, who's a registered nurse. And I know that a lot of people don't expect that out of retail, but you can make a really good career out of it. It was also a good environment because, not every company will have like a president of the company or an owner that will, give you a hug and send you birthday cards. So I just want to get that record straight, that I appreciate everything that the company has done for me to get me to this point. I have learned so much. Despite all the wonderful things about the company I worked for and all the wonderful people I've met, there are some reasons why I wanted to leave. And it was mostly just the job itself. I felt like it was a perfectly wonderful job at first, but I've been doing it for so long, 13 and a half years as a store manager, that I was feeling pretty burnt out. First off, you're on call 24/7 unless you're on vacation. So I would be at my friend's house on a Sunday afternoon playing board games, having a good, wonderful, peaceful time, and then I would get someone calling out, and it's my job either to get the shift filled or to fill it myself. There's been different seasons, I guess you would say, throughout my career. But I will say over the last few years, it seems like it's more challenging to get reliable help. You will have the majority of your staff will be pretty solid, but you'll always have a couple of people that cycle through, meaning they quit showing up on you, they text to quit, or they have poor attendance and call out for a paper cut. I don't know. And I'm just tired of having that responsibility. I want a job that ends whenever I go home. I was also tired of having the same conversations with people. I felt like I've dealt with just about every weird, awkward conversation that you can have with an employee multiple times over the years, and I'm just burnt out, I guess. I've had the tardy, how it affects other people conversation. I've had the why didn't you complete your shift duties conversation. I've had the uncomfortable body odor conversation multiple times with people. I'm tired of having these conversations. I want to worry about me. I don't want to worry about other people. I mean, I do worry about other people, but you know what I mean. I don't want to be responsible for other people at this point. I've been doing it for too long. Another thing is I wanted out of customer service. I've been doing customer service jobs since I was 16 years old. And while I do overall like people and feel like most people are at least decent or neutral, you have a handful that are amazing and awesome and you just wish you could see them all the time. And then you have those people that are incredibly entitled that I'm just tired of being nice to. Sorry. I'm nice until I'm not. And I'm getting less and less patient. And luckily, I have not had any incidents where I say what I really feel. And I'm able to have some self-control. But there are a lot of Karens out there. And I don't want to have to deal with them anymore. One of the lesser reasons that I'm leaving has to do with meat. I know that sounds weird. So I've been a vegetarian for, I don't know, it's probably been about 8 years. I can't really keep track. And at work, though, I'm constantly cooking and serving meat, and it doesn't really match up with my values. And it's just something that, you know, I had the job before I became a vegetarian, but I'd rather just not be in a situation where I have to cook meat. Like, I will not choose a job here on out where I will be in that situation. And that's no judgment on other people. I don't expect other people to have the same beliefs as me. That's just where I'm at. So yes, I have some reasons why I didn't want to do the job anymore. And like I said, I know there are challenges to every job. I'm just tired of dealing with those specific challenges. Now, I could have transitioned into a different spot within the company potentially. However, without having a bachelor's degree in like accounting or finance or any of those type of things, it would probably rely on a pay cut, or if it was a lateral move, it would still require doing customer service. And I just really wanted to start something new. The point that I'm trying to get to, though, is that I've been kind of planning to leave at age 45, and I just went 4 years early. The real reason I left my job after 20 plus years is that I've reached a certain level of financial independence, and that level is often referred to as coast FIRE. So for those of you that aren't familiar with FIRE, FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. Coast FIRE is a lesser version of that, where you have achieved being debt-free and you have enough in your retirement savings that if it follows a modest average of growth, by the time you reach 65, that will be enough for you to retire. So basically, I feel comfortable with the amount that I have in my retirement, that if I didn't add to it at all, that I would have enough to retire at age 65. I'm in the perfect situation to make a life change and try something new. I got into this situation because something about having a job that doesn't end and sleeping by your phone at night, I've had enough overnight people call in last minute to where it just motivated me to learn a new way. And I was already fairly frugal with my money, but then I found out Dave Ramsey exists, Mr. Money Mustache. I follow Graham Stephan, a lot of financial people. And I've just learned the basics of just, you don't need so much stuff and you don't need to expand your lifestyle. And so I don't need a lot to live. That's not what makes me happy. What makes me happy is spending time with Jeff, exercising, eating healthy, sometimes eating unhealthy. I'm grateful for those people that have called out over the years because it's made me boost my percentage going in my 401k. So, there's a lesson in every challenging person you come across. So the reason I've mostly been telling people I left work is to return to school, because it's just a simple, easy way to say, yeah, this is the reason. But that was really secondary. It was more like, I've reached this level of financial independence. I want to try something different. And then secondary came, I'm going to go to school. Because it doesn't really matter if I get this degree or not. It's more because I decided I want to learn something new. It sounded more appealing than just getting into a different job somewhere. So my current major is actually actuarial science. I'm very unsure about that major. I kind of was leaning a little bit more towards finance before, and it might end up going to finance, but then I have a friend whose daughter is an actuary and she loves it. So I was intrigued by it, and for those of you that don't know, just the quick, brief what an actuary is, because a lot of people had never heard of it, and I probably wouldn't have heard of it a couple years ago. An actuary works usually for insurance companies, and you assess future risk for companies. So it's using a lot of statistics, math, finance type background. It's supposed to be a very hard major, and like I said, I'm unsure about it. But let me just show you, I've already started trying to relearn math. That's what I'll be doing most of the summer, in addition to my couple of summer classes that I have. Even though I've chose this major, I'm allowing myself enough flexibility that I can switch to whatever I want, and I'll get a degree in something. I'm just trying to be open-minded about the future and see where it takes me. And one of the steps I took in preparing leaving my job is I have saved up enough money that I will be paying cash for my college. So it'll be fine. I guess just one more thing, because I feel like people are probably going to wonder what my husband thinks about all of this. And I can only speak for him because he's at work right now, that he is excited about this move. He has seen how stressed out I would get. He said he just wants me to be happy and find what makes me happy. He doesn't care what I do as long as I'm doing something. Currently, I feel like this is kind of a win-win for both of us right now. I'm getting a little bit more free time to just be a person, and he has someone that's keeping the house clean and cooking him meals all day. So far, it's going great. I've been able to get up in the mornings and go exercise with him, and it's been going really great. Granted, it's not even been a full week yet. It's like I'm on vacation. If you guys have questions, comments, anything, comment below. I have no problem answering questions. Maybe you just are here because you're thinking about doing it yourself. All I can say is so far it just feels weird. Like, I don't know if it's fully sunk in yet. Maybe whenever I quit getting my paychecks, then I'll be able to tell you how it feels. I will say I've definitely kept in contact with the people I used to work with, and I'm a customer now, and I'm happy to hear from them. But I don't think I'm going to miss working. I think I'm going to miss the people and the money. But I'll be okay without the money, and I can always find the people. That's all I have for today. Thank you if you hung out until the end, and I will see you guys in the next video.